Welcome back to the Wednesday edition of the Hotspot. And you know, it's rainy outside, it's wet. You might find it easy to give in and give up when it comes to nutrition, especially on these comfy indoor days. But it's Wednesday, and that means it's not only just the middle of the week, it's also time for Boka Talks with Jesse Rosario. So let's check in with him at the Boka Box in Hagåtña and see what he'll be talking about today.
Half a day is Jess Rosario from the Boka Box, and welcome back to the Hotspot. It is a gloomy and rainy Wednesday. It's the kind of weather that makes me just want to stay home, watch a movie, make some kadu, but you know, I got bills to pay, so I got to come into work and I can't do that. But it brings me to the topic that I wanted to talk to you guys about today. Whenever I do nutrition coaching and I start to talk about nutrition with people, a lot of times as nutrition professionals, we get so fixated on food and trying to get people to understand that this is a healthy way of eating and trying to work on diet with people and so forth, that we forget that there's another component to helping people understand how to live a healthier lifestyle. And that is dealing with the issue of our emotional and mental health and the connection it has with food. Now, I've had a up and down kind of a relationship with food, and I wanted to talk about that because our mood and our emotional state is connected to the foods that we eat. Just like today, right? I'm not depressed, but the weather makes me want to eat comfort food, and it makes me want to just be kind of lazy. Whereas if it was a sunny day, I'd be active and I'd want to go to the beach and I'd be like, let's go have something healthy to eat so that I look good or whatever it is, right? But that connection with food is both good and bad for us. And I wanted to talk about that because our connection with food is good in the sense where we want to live a healthier lifestyle, so we take the needed steps that we need to look at food in a good sense and start eating good things and nourishing our bodies the right way. But our connection with food can also be bad in the sense where we are not happy with the way that we look or the way that we feel. And so we automatically go on the internet and we start looking at fastest way to lose 10 pounds now. And then when we Google that, a whole bunch of diets come up. And those diets will typically tell you, okay, stay away from this, stay away from that. Don't eat carbs, don't eat sugar, don't eat cake, don't eat cookies. And what ends up happening is that we start looking at food as the enemy. Now, I always say that diets are a short-term fix to a lifelong problem. We're always going to have to look at food. We're always going to have to eat it every day. We're always going to have to make decisions on where are we going to eat? How are we going to eat? What foods am I going to eat? Right? But when we start to diet, the problem that I see is that diets are very, very restrictive. Like I said, it tells you not to eat certain things. And we get into a habit where we become scared to eat. And I see a lot of the customers that come in that have issues with just basically eating. They are so used to going on diets and being restrictive with themselves that they look at food as something that's going to make them overweight or make them fat, and they become scared of that. And I'm at fault for this too, right? It kind of puts us into kind of like mental abuse, or we get to the point of bullying ourselves. So for my experience, right, when I started getting into nutrition and started learning about food, I had this mentality that I had to look a certain way because I'm in the nutrition field and I needed to help people understand what health was. And I thought health was having six-pack abs, looking a certain way, and whatever. But what ended up happening was I had a negative relationship with food where every time I kind of slipped or I ate something bad, automatically I was like, oh, I need to go run or I need to work out because I need to make sure that my calories aren't high. And again, what that does is it puts us in a state where we're not very realistic about our approach to health and about our approach to nutrition. I've always felt that food needs to be enjoyed, and we have to be realistic about our approach to dieting and our approach to health. Basically, we just need to be balanced with that. And that's kind of what we do at the Boka Box, and trying to help people get on meal plans that kind of work around their lifestyle. But if you're the type of person that has been looking at diets and has been counting their calories every single day, or steps on a scale every single day and gets depressed because, oh, today I'm 1 pound heavier or I'm not losing any weight, then, that's something we need to address, right? And I wanted to talk about a couple things that we could do within our lives that help us to overcome an unhealthy and emotional relationship with food, right? So for me, like, when I was eating bad before, and it took me a long time to really get comfortable in my own skin and get comfortable with the food I was eating, to understand that it's a long process. Nothing's going to happen quick, right? But, sad to say, I had an eating disorder. I would throw up whenever I felt like I ate too much, or whenever I knew that I ate something bad, right? And I had to really get over that and come to terms with, how do I become healthy? Because that's not a healthy way to live. And it's also not healthy if you're skipping meals and thinking food's the enemy, and so you're scared of eating, because you honestly do more damage to your body than you are if you're not eating. So we need to be balanced about our approach to eating and making sure we eat. So I have 4 tips that you can do, or you can incorporate into your lifestyle, that will help you to overcome the unhealthy and the emotional relationship with food. The first thing is add, don't subtract. And what I mean about that is, typically when you look at your food, right? You go to a party or you go out to eat, you're looking at your food and you basically have, let's say, rice and protein, and that's about it, right? And with a lot of the diets, they'll tell you, don't eat this, don't eat that. But most of the time, that's not the issue. The issue is that you need to add more things to your plate to make it healthy. So if your plate is rice and meat, then of course you need to add in some sort of vegetable, which leads me to part B of add, don't subtract, which is add color, right? Rice is white, meat is brown, and if your plate is white and brown all the time, let's add some color to that. Let's throw in some vegetables. Let's throw in some sauteed broccoli, or bell peppers, or Brussels sprouts, or whatever it is, or get a simple salad that adds onto your plate. Make your plate very, very colorful. So again, add, don't subtract, right? The second tip that I have is drink water. You'd be very, very surprised with how much water people drink in a day. A lot of the people that I help that come in and want to get on meal plans and want to get healthy, I ask them, how much water do you drink a day? And a lot of times it's less than 3 cups of water. And so you kind of figure, what else are they drinking? Well, there's juice, there's coffee, there's sodas, and other beverages. But your body needs water. I like to drink at least 8 cups of water every single day. You'd be surprised with what happens when your body is fully hydrated and you don't have all this sugar and all these additives and all this other stuff that comes from drinking empty calorie or empty nutrient beverages. So just drink water. I mean, water doesn't have nutrients in it, but it hydrates you, right? But just drink water throughout the day, at least 8 cups of water, right? So that was tip 2. The third tip was eat to fuel your day. Now, when we typically start to talk about fueling up, we tend to think that, oh, that's only for athletes or people that are very active. But you have a busy day too. We all have busy days. Even if I'm not working out, I have a busy day at work. I got to pick up the kids. I got to drop them to practice. I got to cook dinner. I got to do all this stuff. If we're not fueled properly for our day, our body's not going to have the energy it needs to take us through that day. And we're going to get very tired, and our body's going to pull nutrients from where it doesn't need, and it's going to store fat because it's in this fight or flight. But we need to be able to fuel our body every single day with good nutrition, right? The last tip that I have is recover and sleep. Recovery means that you need to sleep not only for muscle recovery, but also for hormonal balance, for mental health. And I would suggest you get at least 6 to 7 hours of sleep every single day. So remember, add, don't subtract. Drink lots of water, eat to fuel your day, and also sleep and recover. Those are things that you can do so that you overcome your unhealthy and emotional relationship with food. It's a daily struggle, but we're going to get there. If you have any questions, please see me at the Boka Box. We can discuss this more, or give us a call if you want to get on a meal plan. But until next week, I'll see you again. I hope you guys have a great day despite all the rain. Adios.
All right, thanks, Jess, for once again great nutritional knowledge. Make sure to check out the Boka Box located in Hagåtña. More of the Hotspot when we return.